Sure. I'll talk it out.
Yeah, let's just have a conversation.
Track 3.
Better not be fucking Dave Matthews Band.
Okay. Those of you who don't want to be a part of this can leave now.
Derek, please listen to me.
But if you choose to stay, which it seems like you guys are choosing,
Derek, please.
you understand and agree to the following terms and conditions.
Derek!
1.
Derek, this is the virus
You
talking.
hereby waive your right
Derek, please.
to your own personal bodily integrity.
This is not you.
2.
I'm a licensed...
Per the state versus Neville Reed, my colleague and I will not be held criminally liable for any felony or misdemeanor that you may be a victim of, including, but not limited to, aggravated assault, aggravated battery, disorderly conduct, destruction of property, mayhem, and first-degree murder. And 3, terms and conditions may change or be updated whenever the fuck I want! Consider yourselves notified.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. I got news for you, pal. You ain't leading but 2 things right now. Jack and shit. Jack left town. Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
What was that ruckus? What ruckus? I was just in my office and I heard a ruckus.
Describe the ruckus, sir.
Does this mean we're not friends anymore? Not me. I'm in my prime.
Out of your mind. Ain't it cool?
First you want to kill me, now you want to kiss me. Blow. Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
What up, everybody? DJ Nubis
And DJ Neko.
here with you on the Metal Time Radio podcast. As you just saw, again, new intro. It's actually been edited a little bit by a good friend Kevin Lambert from the Entertainment Headquarters. So he added in some touches there for us, which much appreciated, sir. Looked very good. Thank you very much.
That's like our original intro from the podcast when we did the podcast.
Audio, yeah.
So
I made that intro, like I said, in my top 10 horror remix earlier today. That was made in 2005 when I was doing live DJ on the internet. And so, yeah, very cool stuff. As I told you then, Neko is the one that kind of said, you need to put this to video because we're on YouTube all the time. Let her in, please.
oh no.
We got a cat that's just got to be with us right now, even though she just got fed, but she's just making a whole bunch of noise. So
Oh my goodness.
interrupting our review time.
Oh my goodness. Come here. Hi. Come here.
So we just got out of the theaters seeing Deadpool and Wolverine. And so we want to give our thoughts on the film. We're going to try to avoid any major spoilers. But it was directed by Sean Levy. The cast consists of Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, Wesley Snipes, Daphne Keane, Morena Baccarin, Chris Evans, Henry Cable.
Hey, you're giving away too much already.
No, because they don't know how they fit in. Aaron Stanford, Tyler Maine, Jennifer Garner, Channing Tatum, Blake Lively, and Matthew McConaughey. The plot is Deadpool is offered a place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe by the Time Variance Authority. For those that don't know, the TVA was something introduced to us through the Loki series on Disney Plus. But instead, it recruits a variant of Wolverine to save his universe from extinction. I started to really amp up to wanting to see this more and more because I've been seeing some stuff online and some other content creators not associated with Sci-Fi Society or anything where there's a lot of bitching from like the actress who played She-Hulk and of course Brie Larson and other people who think that the jokes and stuff in this film are just not like too raunchy, out of place, doesn't belong. And I'm here to fully say, fuck you. Not because I hate any of those groups, but the reality is, using, as I told Neko, what they usually tell us when it comes to their products they make, this film is not for you.
It's not meant for you.
So for Joy Behar and the rest of them that keep crying about, well, you don't want to take kids to this. No,
it's
you
not,
don't take
it's a
kids.
rated R movie.
Yes,
You don't take children.
It's not made for you, Joy. Just sit down in your fucking view and talk your stupid shit.
I think
this
what
isn't
a
made
lot
for
of
you.
people forget is, yes, comic books are for kids. I was saying to DJ Anubis, I was like, 9-year-old nerdy me who loved all this stuff. This was like a culmination. But you have to realize they make comic books for adults too. Like they have like Wolverine being an asshole in comic books too, and Deadpool has always been this way.
Yeah,
so
from the very first movie, it's like people just woke up one day and said, "Oh, I can't believe this movie's
Mhm.
crazy like this." But he's been doing this for 2
and
movies
in
prior.
the comics, like I'm just trying to say, like I get it, comics are for kids, but they make comics that are like adult too. So it's not meant for everyone. It's meant for people who are fans like us and people who get the jokes, and it's not meant for,
like, I don't begrudge anybody that likes She-Hulk or the Marvels and all that stuff. If you enjoy those films, knock your socks off. I don't care. That's the difference between you and I. I don't go out of my way to say, oh, you shouldn't make this and you shouldn't have this. I don't give a fuck. That's your product. You like that safe zone shit, do it. We're a little more non-PC. We like raunchy comedy. This dates back for years for us. With like Eddie Murphy and Raw, like we just like raunchy comedy. That's our style. And this film isn't made for everybody. But there's no obligation from Disney, Marvel, Ryan Reynolds, or anybody to make every movie for you. Mm-hmm. They don't have, in fact, it was quite inclusive. They had very different people of all colors, races, sexes in this film. So anyone saying that it's not inclusive is just full of shit. I'm just going to put it out there. You're full of shit. But basically, Deadpool is at a crossroads in his life, and he's kind of like depressed. He doesn't really have like a real direction, especially after he went to interview for a job with the Avengers, which is how it started. So he's there across from Happy saying, hey, I want to be an Avenger. I want to have a purpose. Doesn't get the job. And eventually kind of goes into a depressed mode where Vanessa, his girlfriend's like, something happened to the point where they just split up.
Broke up, yeah.
Because he didn't have any direction. And I don't know if that was just it or he kind of pushed her away. It's one of those two things. So he ends up like all of a sudden he's celebrating a birthday. Everyone's there, including Vanessa. So they're all still kind of friends. They're all getting along.
And that's what you see in the trailer.
Yeah. And so then the TVA shows up. They knock at his door and they kidnap him basically. And then we have this guy named the Paradox. He's a guy that works for the TVA. He wants to basically place Deadpool into what do they call it? Like it's basically a star-studded timeline where all the Avengers are and to be
the
parts
sacred,
yeah. But he has also an alternative motive, which is to destroy the timeline that Deadpool came from. And the reason for that is because apparently whenever they're doing away with the timeline, it takes quite a long time, like 2,000 years. And so people in the TVA have to kind of watch over that time. And so this guy's just impatient. He's like, we need to do away with this much faster. So they have what's like the time killer. It's a device that will destroy any timeline within like 72 hours. But this, of course, bothers Deadpool because all the ones he cares about are in his timeline. So he takes it upon himself to grab the little gizmo that makes you time travel through the multiverse. And
basically, they were saying that his timeline was dying because in his timeline, it was Old Man Logan.
The one from the movie.
The one
Logan.
from the movie. And he was like the anchor person
Yeah.
for Deadpool's
timeline,
universe and his timeline. So he wants to get another Logan from a different timeline, and that's kind of like how the whole thing starts off.
Yeah, so he's basically being the rebel that he is, pushing back. He wants to save his timeline, but he needs to go find a different Logan to fill the void. And so again, he's hopping through time and trying to find the guy to bring back. And of course, you get the many variant versions of Logan, like you would Loki and stuff like that. If you've ever seen the show, you know there are different versions of such characters. Same with Doctor Strange, and so on and so on. So he eventually comes across the one Logan that's really going to fit the bill, but he's like apparently the worst of the bunch because in his timeline, he's kind of the reason why it's just his timeline is destroyed. All the X-Men are dead. He's the last. He's an alcoholic like normal. But you know, they spent a lot of time fighting back and forth. These guys.
There's a lot of really good fight scenes.
Oh yeah, the choreography is fun. And again, Deadpool treats us like at the fourth wall. He's talking to us and talking about Marvel and DC and everything else. And so you get those jokes in there. And of course, you know, we talked about it coming out of the theater, how people who might take offense to some of the more what they would call homophobic joke lines don't really understand that it's more done in an endearing way because he's actually not doing it to like demean anybody. He's actually just being funny. This is how Deadpool is. He's fawning over Wolverine and Logan. He makes constant jokes about the shirt being off. And like there is one moment where he's getting fitted for a suit. The suitor is, you know,
Taylor is like
grabbing the crotch, making sure everything's there, slapping the ass because he's got these tight suit on. It's funny. It's not really meant to offend anybody.
Yeah, he's like, your Taylor's really great. Put a little handsy.
Yeah, he's making fun of the whole fucking thing. And so you know, but that's again, if you've watched the first Deadpool movie to the second one, you know that's the kind of humor you're going to get with this film. They've never strayed from that. And again, you know, again, they kind of make reference to some of the other points in the other movies, like with Cable and stuff, especially in the interview.
Mm-hmm.
As Deadpool's not really a team player, so that was one of the reasons why he didn't get the job.
Yeah,
for the
he's
Avengers.
like, can you show me how you've been a team player?
Some people are just not meant to be heroes on that level.
Here.
Yeah, you're just here.
I honestly, I really don't want to give away too much because
It's only been about a week or so.
And I had so much fun with this movie. And the surprises are what really made it for me, which made me like the movie because they did these simple trailers that wanted you to entice you, and they did not give away a lot of the
the problem I ran
and...
into is the more shit that I watched online and read, the more things got outed. So I kind of expected a few things that she didn't. But we aren't the one thing that people complain about and try to demean the movie about is too many cameos. Like they don't think there's enough substance there, but I disagree because there are moments where both like Jackman, when he's having to, he's talking with Laura at some point, is talking about what happened in his timeline and he's in tears. Like that's great acting. And then there's moments with Wade where even though he's got his mask on, like when Wolverine's basically giving him the business and saying, yeah, you're a fuck up. You couldn't even keep your girlfriend. and then there's like this moment where Wade's actually just shut up. Like that's a callback to Origins, because one thing that Wolverine said in that film when they had done Deadpool in the shitty way was, oh, they finally got you to shut up. So there's all these references and little Easter eggs that you see throughout the film through the other part of the universe that you see in this film. And of course, they end up going to the void, which basically is run.
Zapped.
Yeah.
If you saw the Loki show, when they zap you, you go.
Yeah.
To the
If you
void.
want to know anything about what's going on about this movie, you got to watch the Loki series. But they end up coming across what is basically Professor X's sister, who runs the void, and she's just not a very good version of.
And she was sent down there and basically
Put in
trapped.
charge, yeah.
But
she likes it.
She likes it, and then she realized she's really not trapped, and we had an agreement, and blah blah.
Which is
blah.
there's more Easter egg shit you see there.
So, I think my favorite, I know there were a lot of characters that popped up from different Marvel movies, but they made them have a purpose. And there were some that I told you, I don't want to give away what my.
And they all had their own funny moments, using dialogue that we've heard before from them. So.
And I'm not going to give away what I said. My favorite. I was just because I was
I
smacking him.
I already know who my favorite was.
The dog.
No.
No,
I want to say it so bad. I just want to say the quote so bad.
Don't spoil it, because I'm not going to spoil it, because I had no idea that this person was going to show up in the movie, and I was smacking him. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. So. Highly recommend this. I don't even know if I can give it a 10 out of 10 though. Definitely a 9 out of 10, but certainly great. And the thing is, right now in my list of top 10 movies of the year, I don't have a very big list right now. This will still make the top 10 because we're halfway through it. So unless there's this huge run of movies that just outdo it, this is definitely gonna be in my top 10.
Yeah, because last year, what did we have? Barbie and Maverick. That were
well, Barbie didn't make mine. I was kind of joking around at my number one because what are they 20? It was Godzilla -1 that won.
And Godzilla -1. I'm trying to think of what, but I don't.
Guardians 3 was really good. That was my number 2, I think.
There just wasn't as much that we've felt compelled to go to the movies.
Yeah, let me just pull it up real quick what I have so far, because it's not a big list and. You would think. So, yeah, basically, right now it's Late Night with the Devil.
Oh, yeah, but that came out last year.
No, it's this year.
Are you sure? I think it came out last year.
It might have been.
I think it was released last year, and it came to Shudder this year.
I think it's still listed as 2024, though.
Okay.
I'll have to double check. I'm pretty sure. Boy Kills World. I really enjoyed that. Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, and then Abigail. Right now Maxine is kind of on the outside looking in.
I haven't seen Abigail.
That's on Peacock, I think, right now. I just watched it the other day. It was a lot of fun.
I want to watch I think it's in the theaters right now. Nicolas Cage is in a horror movie called Long Legs.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. I watched The Arcadian with him, and I was going to do a review on it, but it didn't really stand out enough for me to kind of go.
Is that the one we were watching with the monsters?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the monsters in the Arcadian were better than the movie. That, I know we're going off track here, but if you do see the Arcadian, it's 100% worth it for the monsters. The monsters themselves are actually terrifying, and it's taken... something in my eye really bad right now.
But I still have to see the first Omen. A lot of people said that was good. The Fall Guy with Gosling.
I gotta see that.
Furiosa got a lot of great ratings, just didn't do very well in the theaters, but I want to see that. Craven the Hunter, the Beetlejuice movie, is coming out soon. They're doing another Karate Kid, but I think they're doing it legit this time instead of the one they did with Jackie Chan. And Nosferatu, I want to still see that as well. So, I mean, there's still some movies on the palette that I want to check out. But right now, the list is very short of what I would consider the best of 2024. So, Yeah, highly recommended. And give us your thoughts in the comments, what you thought of the film. Try not to give any spoilers for people that have not seen it yet.
Yeah, it's too soon. We could do another in-depth one. Like
We might end up doing like a group one with some of the other collaborators that
Because-
we work with.
I couldn't even like there's just so much I want to say, but I don't
Yeah.
want to because
It's tough because, like, and that's the thing. I knew we had to get out and see it pretty soon because the more it's been out,
Well,
the
you
more
live
people.
on the internet a lot more than I do, so
But even on Facebook, people were starting to spit shit out. I'm like, come on, don't do that.
Yeah, I'm on. He's on the internet 90% of his life. I'm on it about 20% of my life. I mean, so I purposely, if I'm trying to watch something, I, and that was like what I said before about my biggest complaint about the mom.
Too many trailers.
Yeah. All right, I have to go. There's something in my eye and I can't see.
So anyway, thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel, like the video if you would, help our algorithm. We'll see you next time on the Metal Time Radio Podcast. Have a good night.